Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another video. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe on your way in. I would greatly appreciate that. So, every time somebody baits you, they're testing your emotional discipline. So, if you've ever reacted, got upset, or even got angry, or even did anything but ignore it, then you pretty much failed. Um, and there's signs and different ways that you can tell that somebody's baiting you. And one of which is they accuse you of something out of nowhere, which is pretty much like a classic dating move. If that makes sense. Perhaps like your partner, like suddenly might accuse you of like cheating on them, even if you've never done anything to suggest that you are or ever would. The accusation, whatever it might be, is basically designed to leave you off balance and struggle to defend yourself while that other person has already moved on to other ways to try and manipulate you. But they're pretty much trying to bait you into defending yourself while, being able to turn the tables and act as the victim, you know. So instead of trying to defend yourself against an accusation, just try to figure out um, why they would accuse you of that, and then just dismantle their baiting by encouraging them to, explain their thought process. You know, um, they also try to damage something of yours. Baiting doesn't always have to, have an argument. Somebody might be baiting you just by purposefully, damaging something that might belong to you in order to like get a response of like anger. Once you're angry, the person who's baiting you can then more easily manipulate the situation, or they pretty much won. So perhaps you come home one day to discover that like your friend, family member, or partner, like like they deliberately caused damage to something that you own or even like your property, and they're always playing on your emotions too. Baiting is almost always used to like elicit an emotion from one person to the other. Uh, so the one that's baiting you wants to be able to manipulate that situation. So they need you in a particular state of mind, to be able to do so. They might use baiting to, make you angry or upset you significantly. And they definitely will deliberately make you jealous. So, in a relationship situation, like if your partner, if they're, flirting with other people or they cheat on you as a way to make you jealous, that's like a dating technique. If your partner flirts with, people in front of you and then they compare you to their past partners or even just compares you to a stranger, that's a sign that they want to bait you also. Or perhaps they, want to bait you into an argument or want to bait you into, proving them wrong, so to speak. Either way, that's a sign that somebody is baiting you. They're just, using your emotions to manipulate you or try to. Your partner may even claim that, it's all in your head, as a form of gaslighting. And, last but not least, of course, they're always going to try to play the victim. No matter what they did to bait you into your response, they're always going to be the victim. Even if they, flirted with somebody in front of you, it's because, you don't pay them enough attention. So if they happen to destroy something that belongs to you, it's because you made them angry. You know, someone who's like baiting you is never going to concede to the point that they're the ones causing the argument or that problem. So if you find yourself in a situation where the other person is deliberately elicited a response from you, but you're still in the wrong, it's a good sign that you're being baited. So um, recognizing those signs of that is pretty much important. Um, but there's still more to do, when it comes to being on the receiving end of somebody's bait. And one of which is just don't take the bait. That's important. If you're not responding, then the other person isn't getting what they want from you. That just means, you'll be able to move on from the bait and have a real conversation. Um, don't argue or try to appeal to a reason. In fact, you may want to leave the room entirely. Like, is your partner beating you? Then it's good to give the other person time and yourself time to cool off, especially if the baiting is looking for an angry response. And try to have a support system. It's important to have some outside perspectives, when it comes to dealing with someone who's using dating as a technique of manipulation, whether that's friends, a therapist, family, whatever. It's good to have support, understanding what dating is, where it comes from, how to handle it in all forms is really the best way to deal with the situation in which somebody is dating you. Of course, it might seem difficult, but knowing how to properly handle the situation is going to make the whole thing go smoother than taking a bait. So I just wanted to give my synopsis on, dating and stuff like that in ways that you can, um, you know, not take the bait and then try to like recognize the signs. And I'll leave it with my final thoughts. Um, I'll leave it with my final thoughts.
Um, so yeah, I just wanted to, you know, give my little breakdown on that. You know what I mean? Like I said before, every time somebody like baits you, they're really trying to test your emotional discipline. If you think about it, like, so if you was to react or get upset or angry or something like that, then you've probably lost, because their goal, really, in my mind, is that they're just trying to get a reaction out of you. You know what I'm saying? So if you just continue to stay focused on, because I know it can be tempting, so that's why I would say just try to stay focused and don't react, because by you reacting, especially if you're not the type that reacts like that, then they probably won. So just try not to react. He who angers you controls you. So, but yeah, with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into the video. Please hit the like, share, subscribe on your way out as well. I would greatly appreciate that. And as always, continue to be safe out there, stay hydrated, and continue to be blessed. All right, y'all have a good one.